welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new NCAA 14 experiment. If you joined me for my last series, Football, What's a Football, you'll have noticed that it's kind of dead. The short version of what happened is that I had a power surge during a game, lost the footage. It kind of messed with my computer a little bit, so I had a lot of fixing to do, but in the process, I managed to lose 2 games worth of footage that I could not get back. So, instead of trying to rehash all of that and kind of start from maybe where I left off, I'm just going to start from scratch. As you can see, we are not the BYU Cougars anymore. We are the Vermont Catamounts. You might be asking yourself, what the heck's a catamount? Well, it's essentially a wildcat. So we are the Wildcats. Who are we playing? The Wildcats. Now, we'll talk about a couple things with this that make it different. This isn't your standard team builder dynasty mode here. There are a couple things here. So the first one is that the rosters and ratings for the teams are taken from my previous dynasty. Basically, I had a backup save from the beginning of Season 2, simmed a couple of seasons ahead, took all of the information from there, dumped it into here. So all of the NCAA records I dumped in, all of the players and teams and ratings from that one I dumped in, along with their media poll ranking, which will be important in a minute. Because the other big thing here is that I've turned this NCAA Football 14 game basically into NCAA Footy-Ball 14, in the sense that we are running the NCAA like a Euro-style relegation league. And you'll get a chance to take a look at all the divisions and whatnot once we're done here in the front end with the preseason. So the first thing we need to do is set up our coach skill tree here with our head coach, Kruger Dunning. So we are, as always, going to be starting in the scouting tree, picking that up. Dan Silva as our defensive coordinator. I think I want to work on pass rush. And Justin Bishop, our offensive coordinator. I want to make sure my guys stay on the field as long as possible. Next, we're going to go and redshirt some players. As you can see, our overalls here are still pretty low. After 4 years of kind of garbagey football, it hasn't really climbed that high. You'll see that once we get out of here. So we're going to go through and we're going to do our redshirts here. So we only got one guy here. We have 5 quarterbacks. And we're going to redshirt the only one we can. 4 halfbacks. I think we'll be safe to do that. Both our fullbacks. Let's see. Redshirt these guys and leave everybody else. I can't redshirt any of my tight ends. Redshirt him. Basically, I kind of want one backup player for every position, since I'm going to have kind of this front 5 starting. You know, I only have one behind them. Same thing here. DT, well, he's my best one. I'm not going to redshirt him. Can't do anything there. If I run 4-3, I'm only going to have 1 out, so yeah. Same thing here. So we'll take, we'll just redshirt him. Leave that. My 2 kickers, I can't redshirt either of them. And yeah, we're good. Let's do our schedule while we're out of here. So, our division is made up of 15 teams. Most divisions are only made up of 12. Like I said, you'll get to see all that expanded once we get to week 1. But here, you know, we don't have that many games to schedule. We've only got 4 slots for out of conference, and 2 basically games we can schedule. Right now, I want to just open that up. I want to take an opponent first week. Yeah, we'll play the Roadrunners and we'll play them at home. So let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road games, 7 home games. No, we can't change any of those. So we'll make the UNLV a road game just so we can balance it out 6 and 6. Now, yeah, our strength schedule is F. Yeah, it's gonna stay there for a while. And yes, we're gonna keep that. All right, last thing. Let's set up the board. Let's see what we need first. I only am required. Oh boy, a lot of defense. Tackles, linebackers. I need a punter. Oh, I have a second kicker, so I don't really need another punter, but I will try. And a center. Okay. Let's start with those spots first. So, offensive line, which is usually one of the more difficult ones to nail down. Let's see. That's weird. You can see up here, if I take Trey Johnson onto my board, I lose Ronnie Lacey for some reason. That is very strange. I've never seen that happen before. Huh. Well then, I guess I will target those two to start with. So I need a center, I need some DTs, although I can probably get some ends and throw them in there too. Let's start with these guys. Actually, hang on, let's scan real quick. Yeah, we'll start with those two. 71 overall. 464. I'll throw them on the board too, why not? Linebackers. Oh boy, I got a lot of linebackers who are interested. Let's see. He looks decent based on the stats over here. Pretty good 40 time. 595 on the squat. Not as much on the bench press. But we'll start scouting him a little bit and see what I can come up with. We'll try those two. Oh man, not a lot of middle linebackers though. I might have to move some outside to inside here. Ooh boy, he looks like a beefy boy. 420, 620 with a 460. Not bad. I'll throw him on the board too. Got all those and then punter. Of course, no punter is interested. Well, might as well go for broke here. Let's see, what's the lock look like? Yeah, he's at the bottom of the pile, so sure. Alright, let's keep digging here. Who's interested? Oh boy, not money. Alright, let's... Again, we'll just roll the dice and go for broke here. It looks like somebody that could be helpful. That's 40 time. We'll take those two. And now we'll just try to nail down some other people. Anybody else who's interested? 3-star quarterback. Sure, put them on board. No running backs. That's not good. He's got the fastest 40. Just gonna go for broke on some of these. If he's interested, why not? Throw him on board. Anybody? A couple people. 442. That's the second fastest time that I'm looking at right now. 440. Tight ends. Sure, throw those both on board. And let's try to find some offensive linemen while I am here. Decent bench press and squat numbers up there. run block, guys. Check the guards. We'll go those two. And I'm just look at some secondary while I am here. 4-4-2. I'm not necessarily looking at their overalls right now. I am just looking at their times over here, what they're logging. 5 more slots. Let's see. Take those 2. And there we go. Our board is full. Let's see what we can do. We'll start by scouting the ones that I need to fill spots on, since that's all I can do right now. And I can't actually scout very well at the current moment. So we're just gonna scout the top ones here, see what we end up with. A lot of people are going down, but of course this doesn't offer me the full picture. So now I can just kind of pick and choose who I want to look at here. Alright, so you look like you're secondary, and you are most likely some kind of lineman. Yeah, tackle 80, yeah. Let's look at the quarterback. What's he got? It doesn't give me much. Scrambler, maybe. Nice. Let's the tight end. Let's look at some of these O-linemen here. We've only got 2 left. Alright, well, that's all I got. Alright, with all that done, we're going to go ahead and jump to week 1. See our awesome... Right, and because I talked about it, let's show off our divisions here. So, national champions, and this is the way that things are going to work every year. So the national champions always go independent. They're the only ones that are independent. Everybody else is filed into some division. Now I just did this alphabetically just to make it easy on myself. So the ACC is basically Division 1 here. You can see the breakdowns of teams, all the teams that are in this division. And this is just kind of ranked on how the computer thinks they're going to finish here. How they're set up right now, and you can see the overalls here and the offense defensive ratings. They all vary, they're vary wildly, and then each division is at least as close geographically as I could get them. I mean, this one is kind of scattershot, where we have basically kind of the south, and then we have a lot of the northeast in that particular division. So each division is set up kind of geographically. So here's Division 2. You can see what teams are here in Division 2. Again, all these overalls are all over the place because, like I said, I pulled the roster from my football, what's a football, my 40 overall Dynasty. I pulled that after simming it for a little bit, flopped that in here. So you're going to see some low numbers for a while still. Should make things interesting, and definitely made the divisions here interesting, because I didn't necessarily rank them by overall. I ranked them by where the computer would put them in the BCS poll. So and then here's Division 4, so you can get an overall picture of who's in what division. Now, as you can see, all of these have 12 teams. We already looked at independence, so here's Division 6. See, here's our first 20s, Nevada here, down in Division 6. We have Division 7. Looks fairly stacked here right now. And Division 8. 9. Now, Division 9 has 14 teams in it, because I tried to keep them as even as possible, but the only problem is that there's more teams than slots really available if I just did 12 per, and you can only have 16 teams in any conference, so that limits my options a little bit, because now I have 14 teams here, and then in the bottom division, the trash division, I have 15, because I couldn't just do it by 12s, nor were there any other way to evenly divide it all the way across. And here we are, our Vermont Catamounts. You can see our overall is decently high, comparatively speaking, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot, because I am the one who's holding the controller, and that means bad things will most likely happen. Not too late, not looking too hot. Yeah, the rest of the division, everybody's kind of close together, so this will make things interesting. So the way this is going to work is that at the end of the season, top 3 teams move up, bottom 3 teams move down. National championship, whoever plays for that, whoever wins that national championship, whoever's number 1 in the league goes on to be independent for the next year, just to make it a little bit more difficult for them to repeat. Obviously, they have to worry about schedule strength, and then get back to number 1 or number 2 without being in, a strong conference. So it makes things a little bit more interesting. But that's the basic setup here, and that's how things are going to work out. We're starting down here in dumpster fire territory, and we're going to see if we can't claw our way up to being national champions. And then that'll do it for this week. Obviously, we have a game to play this week 1. Put that in a separate episode. So, if this sounds interesting to you, hopefully you'll hang around and join us next time.